gonna set your face on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Welcome everyone to the Narrative Podcast. I'm your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome this evening, all my narrators. Welcome everyone new that may be tuning in right now to the Narrative Podcast. Hope you guys had a great day. I know I did. Check. Let's see where I'm at. Check. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. So sensitive equipment, I just gotta check every once in the blue moon. Everything seems to be operational. But anyway, welcome to the Narrative Podcast, the home of original people, reciprocity, and positivity. So my narrators already know the drill. So I'm gonna just give a brief rundown of what my podcast is all about. For anyone unfamiliar with my platform. So first of all, let's start at the name, Narrative, the Narrative Podcast. I came up with the concept because during the pandemic lockdown, I noticed a trend. It was just all this negative news in our community. I mean, it's nothing new under the sun, but especially in that time frame, it was just really overwhelming. And I noticed what the media likes to do is just kind of spin the narrative about our people and our culture to fit their narrative, which is the agenda of basically making us appear and seem a certain way. Primarily it's done to sell news because we're so interesting. We're never not news, but also to divide us and increase the wealth gap here in America and abroad. And they use this via propaganda. They basically just perpetuate and generate these negative stereotypes about our people and our culture. So what I want to do on my platform is just basically celebrate our culture and play up all our strengths and basically just empower us and edify us and, zoom the lens on positivity rather than negativity. So the tagline for my podcast is a Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. I'll get to the original people part in a second. But the ultimate takeaway I want my listeners to get, if nothing else, is the importance of sharing positive content online. These days, what your content you share online is like your carbon footprint in the digital space. People associate, you by the type of content you share online. So if you're always sharing gang culture, you're always sharing drug culture, you're always sharing, thought culture, pimp culture, thief culture, people are going to associate you with the type of content that you share. And so if you are an original man or original woman sharing that content, they're going to associate all of us with that type of content that you share in the digital space. So, we want to be sharing strong family structure. We want to share stories about that. The original man and the original woman united, standing in solidarity, supporting one another. We want to show, positive images of that. We want to show scholastic achievements. We want to show entrepreneurialism. We want to share networking. We want to share, positive frames of references that we know how to air out our grievances in a civil manner instead of always calling each other out of our names and dragging each other all up and down social media. So basically, we have to put the positive frames of reference out in the atmosphere. It's not an indefinite, end all, be all cure for how we're perceived here in America and abroad, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And so that's the ultimate takeaway I want from everyone that listens to my platform, to take that away, if nothing else. So the types of frames of reference I share is just like I said, stories of us winning, stories of us excelling, stories of redemption, leadership, people having a good sense of community, just basically us tapped into our God forms. That's what I share on my platform. I encourage empowerment, upliftment. I never try to, belittle or berate anybody, but I do keep it real on my platform. In my commentaries, if one of us is doing or saying something that has all of us looking and sounding crazy, I will address it. But other than that, I don't put people down. I don't gossip. Try not to speculate. I basically just, again, try to edify our people and our culture on the Narrative Podcast. Now, going back to the original part, I just recently had an epiphany about the word black. And if you look in the English dictionary and, thesaurus, all the connotation surrounding the word black is negative. There's all kinds of negative sentences, adjectives, pronouns, etc. With the word black. So in essence, with my logic, every time we're saying the word black, we're releasing some type of negative energy. Because I also believe in the power of words on my platform. So there's when you look in the dictionary, you see, black plague, dirty, depressed, it's just always something negative. So when we're saying it, it's not it's not a self-hatred thing. I'm very proud of who I am. I'm very proud of my people. I can't imagine myself being nothing other than what I am. But it's more of a self-realization. It's more of a, self-awareness, not self-hatred. Me not wanting to say the word black to identify myself, because first of all, there's no such thing as, it's not a nationality. I mean, many of us are very dark complected, like super, super dark skin, but it's not too many black people for a skin color. So, there's no nationality, not really a skin color. This is a word that these colonizers came up with, and hey, you guys are black. The worst word you can think of. We didn't self-identify as black in early civilization. Like I can go super deep with it, but I'm just trying to tell you, my method to my madness. We're referring to our people in our culture as original. Now, when you go look in the dictionary, because black basically symbolizes, the end of all things in death. And we're anything but the end of all things. We're the beginning of things. We started civilization. We mothered and fathered this entire planet. So a more accurate representation of us would be the word original. Because we were the original man and the original woman. We inhabited every corner of the globe. We invented pretty much everything in the modern day world. And, there's nothing but positivity surrounding original. Anything that stands next to an original is just a carbon copy, a knockoff. We are the original human being. And so, I think I made my point up with that. So I'm not so woke that I'm an insomniac. I'm not one of them type of brothers that be trying to come up with all these little conspiracy theories and yeah, man, and the government is trying. That's not me. I'm just saying I have kind of deep thoughts, and that's, one of my kind of deep thoughts. So anyway, I hope you got the gist of, what I do here, what my platform is all about. I'm going to dive right into this content. My narrators already know. My normal broadcast, I break that format down in a sec. This is a live edition. My live editions, what I basically do is share positive frames of references, articles, basically, that came across my radar, and then deliver some content as well, some commentary if something's going on in the world that I feel I need to speak on, and try to keep it short and brief and to the point. I never try to have my full broadcast days longer than 1 hour, and for my live broadcast, I just try to pop in, pop out. Like I try only to do 45-minute tops, but hey, sometimes, as they say, when the spirit moves, I get passionate. I might go a little over, but I try to keep everything, flowing nicely, and try to just break everything down into little digestible bites. So it'll resonate with you and you can recall the information and just, remember my content and give you something to look forward to next time. I don't want to overload you or bombard you with things. I just want everything to flow nicely and smoothly. All right, before we dive into the content, I got a disclaimer. Right now, I'm broadcasting live, but when I share it back to other platforms, it'll register as a previously recorded episode. So this is a monetized podcast. When I share it back on other platforms, there's going to be ad rolls. The ad rolls occur sometimes during mid-speech. So just something to think about while you're listening. Shout out to my YouTube family. Shout out to my Twitter family. I'm on a platform right now. I'm broadcasting live to Twitter and YouTube. So to never miss a live broadcast, follow me on my viewer page, YouTube right now, Halsey Allen. And subscribe and click the notification bell, and you will never miss me when I'm live. Or, follow me on Twitter, also Halsey Allen, and you will never miss my live broadcast. Okay, and one last little thing before we dive into the content. I want to send condolences to, families, friends, and associates of Takeoff. Another one, y'all. I'm not going to deliver any commentary on that tonight. I'm wait till the story unfolds a little bit more before I deliver my commentary on that. But definitely, it's shaking the industry apart right now. He's 1/3 of the group, the Migos, and the Migos are different because they're very unique for the simple fact that they all rhyme and then they all produce as well. So it's like they're rappers and a slash production team. So that's kind of never really been done in this industry. Definitely a talent. Can't say I was the biggest Migos. I am the biggest Migos fan, but I was familiar with them. I listened to a few songs, check for it here and there, but definitely, condolences, prayers up, and all that, and light and healing energy to his family and everyone who knew him. So, prayers up in this time for them. All right, now officially diving into the podcast contents. If I can find it. All right, so my first article, the headline reads, Meet formerly homeless mom of two who is now the CEO of 8 successful companies. She's referred to in some circles as the entrepreneurial GOAT, and the sister's name is Janae White. She's a single parent mother from Jacksonville, Florida. She had 2 day jobs initially before she started launching her own companies. She was a social worker for 9 years during the day, and in the evening, her night job was a revenue auditor in the accounting and finance department for UPS. It didn't really say, the article didn't say all the 8 companies that she founded. It just really said that. But definitely, respecting her grind, respecting her overcoming adversity and finding a way to change her situation around. So this is what my podcast is all about, triumphing in the face of adversity, finding a way to just do it. Next article headline reads, Father and son duo first ever black owned athletic and supply company. The father's name is Orlando Booker, and his son's name is Kendall Booker. Company's based out in Atlanta, Georgia. Name of the company is HW101. It didn't really say the significance behind that name, why they chose that name. But the product is made of durable, breathable fiber. So, ultra lightweight, sweat resistant, odor resistant, stain resistant. So it's definitely an innovative product. I'm going to go look out for some HW101 to support them. These articles are going to be super duper light tonight. I've been really working on streamlining my content. because, like I said, I try to be very time effective because I don't want to just drone on and on and on talking about stuff. So I just decided to give you the streamlined version instead of the entire background story. Just try to get to the high points of the story rather than just every single little detail of it. Okay, so next article reads, mom and daughter open second black apparel store in Century Mall, which is only 5 minutes away from Beverly Hills. Mother's name is Lakeisha Johnson and her daughter Caitlin. And their brand is the Aether brand. I think it's like a play on words. It's athletic slash apparel or leisure, athletic slash leisure, athleisure brand, SWG. Oh wait, it's lost something. She teamed up with an organization called SGH. Hold on, yeah. Her brand is called SGH. I think it stands for Hustle or something. I don't know what the S stands for, but the GH is grind and hustle. Or I know what it stands for, I just didn't take it down in my notes. My bad, y'all. I'm live. I make mistakes. Not perfect, but yeah. She teamed up with the LA Urban League and the URW League, or the URW organization in California. And the UR is the Urban Reputable Ronco Westfield. Yeah, that's more than a mouthful, but yeah. They're currently they've started out in the Topanga Mall before they moved into their current location that's just outside of Beverly Hills, or only 5 minutes away from Beverly Hills. So they're doing big business. They're expanding their line. Their reputation is growing. They're taking the internet by storm, and in the next couple years, not even the next couple years, like in the next 5 or 6 months from now, they're going to just dominate the industry with their product. All right. So my last article I'm sharing tonight, headline reads, Dad teams up with his 11-year-old son to convert a school bus into a mobile learning center. The father's name is Sean Harris, and his 11-year-old son's name is Caden. They're from Atlanta, Georgia, and their goal is to teach financial literacy to the youth. So it's like a mobile, I don't know if you ever heard those bookmobiles. And sometimes they got bookmobiles, they just ride around giving out free books. So it's basically the same premise as that. They're giving away knowledge to, about finance. And I think that's more than dope because that is something we struggle in our community because it's it's intentionally hidden from us. They don't teach it in school. They don't teach about the stock market. They don't teach you how to checking and savings and balancing the checkbook and all that. They definitely don't teach you in home banking to start your own bank, but that's awesome. And again, they intentionally not do that in school. Why would you put the key right in front of you? All right. So that's the end of my articles. That's all I have to share tonight. I usually have like about 5 or 6, but those particular ones just really stood out to me this week. And again, I just gave you the streamlined version of them. You can do your Googles. It's more detailed background story than that, than what I shared with you. And again, the purpose of sharing the positive frames of reference is basically to put something positive in the atmosphere instead of always, sharing stories of us being downtrodden, killing each other, being violent towards each other, that whole nine, gang banging, rape, thought code, you know what I'm saying? I want to share positivity and just really drive that point home on how important it is to share positive content. Because the media intentionally bombards us with all these negative images, negative audio clips to intentionally, wreak havoc on our psyche. And it's evident in our community that that's what they're doing. So it's not me with a conspiracy theory, that's like reality. You're absorbing all this negativity and you're seeing yourself a certain way, and then you're seeing your brother and your sister a certain way, where we are reacting to each other based on the content that they're always showing us. Look at these scripted reality television shows. It ain't never just a show just celebrating the culture, celebrating each other, talking each other up. It's always, every episode got to end in violence. They be in the most beautiful, scenic places, and then just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they choose violence. And then what we do, we rush to the television screen to look at it, like we are entranced. We just mesmerized by the toxicity and the dysfunction. So it's just really important to always, post positive content, speak positively about your brother, speak positively about your sister, speak positively about yourself, whether it's out loud or quietly to yourself. Because we already know what we are, but they're trying to make us be what they want us to be, which is nothing. All right. So, got the articles out the way. If you're unfamiliar with, my normal format for my podcast, allow me to just give you a brief rundown of what you would have to look forward to on a full broadcast day, which is every single weekend. Okay, so first I start out with a section. I've divided my podcast up into sections. Forgot to tell my new listeners tuning in right now. So on a normal broadcast day, I divided my content up into sections. And the reason I divided up into sections, again, to, break through the monotony, also help me just from bouncing around from subject to subject, keep everything nice and streamlined, and just, keep cohesion and have a nice flow to it. So it's easy to listen to, and it just doesn't come across like a glorified rant. Each section has speaking points, and I try not to exceed 6 or 7 minutes, or 3 to 5. I try to keep each section to 3 to 5 minutes. And my ideal goal is no longer than an hour, although I have gone, over an hour, not by much, probably like 10 or 20 minutes. But when I first started doing the podcast, I used to talk and talk and talk. I hardly had any listeners, and I was wondering what I was doing wrong. Then I just did some inventory and just shortened it, streamlined it, because like a lot of my earlier stuff, when I was back in the single digits, if you go through my episode log, some of them joints was like almost 3 hours long. And nobody wants to sit up there and listen to somebody talk for 3 hours. You got to be like really, really highly influential. Like you have to be on a super, magna level, very, very interesting. It's not that I'm not very interesting. It's just like I got a ways to go yet. So I'm trying to just captivate my audience. Just shoot straight from the hip, get right to the meat, and say what I got to say, and get on up out of here. And let y'all get on up out of here. Okay, so I start off my podcast with the open invite to original people that own or operate their own business. I give them an opportunity to reach out to me to my business email address and, have them hit me up. I tell them how to hit me up, and I promote their business product or service for 110% for free on my platform. And all I'm asking for them to do is be specific as possible. Give me all the details they want me to know about their business, as well as details they want me to know about themselves, their own personal background, their own personal expertise, and reason why they started the business, so I can give them a proper drop and, get them some business. And the reason why I'm doing that is to do my part to help keep the original people dollar circulating in the original people community. The types of people that I want to reach out to me is, business owners that own and operate their own businesses, but also take care of their own community, pay it forward, like hire their own, pay into a nonprofit organization, or, have their own nonprofit organization, donate products to the community that they're rooted in, do something, like take care of the elderly, our children, the homeless, anybody less fortunate, not just be on some me and mine type thing. Okay, now secondly, part of my podcast, the next section is a contest that I'm currently promoting for my for this podcast, exclusively for the Narrative Podcast. It's a promotional section I call, a promotional contest section. I affectionately call it Chew on This contest. And the reason why I call it the Chew on This contest, because I'm giving a bulk supply of your favorite snack away just for participating in the topic of the contest. And the topic of the contest is share your most recent shopping while black experience. And for sharing your most recent Black shopping while Black experience, I give you a bulk supply of your favorite snack. So it's intended to be a incentive reward type thing. Reward people that's been listening to me from day one, giving them opportunity just to get something for free, and as well as to draw in new people to listen to me like this currently listening right now on my live. Give y'all the opportunity to get y'all something for free too. And then ideally, I will get your a bulk supply of your favorite snack from an original people-owned vendor. So it's like the circle is complete. You're getting some, I'm getting some, and the original people-owned vendor is getting something. So, everybody wins. Also, the reason why I want to, have that, contest, that particular topic, is to keep the conversation going. Because we're treated horribly in places of retail in America and abroad. Right now, we are, building. We're getting, more and more of our own businesses, but it's not universal across the board that we have our own neighborhoods as we once did before we became desegregated. When we were segregated, we had our own everything. I can't speak for abroad, but definitely here in America, we had our own everything. But as soon as, we integrated, we lost everything. And when we lost everything, it was open season on us by these retailers, treating us horribly, following us around the store like we're going to steal something, or just plain old don't want us up in the store. Just because of, who we are. Because they don't like original people. So I want you to share your most recent shopping while Black experience. And I'll give you a bulk supply of your favorite snack. The details for the, free promotion, for the business promotion and this contest, just go back in my episode logs. I'm not going to, tell the email address in my live podcast, because again, like I said, for a time thing, I'm trying to keep it brief and to the point. I'm not trying to really exceed over an hour, but all the details is in my previous episodes. Like you can go back to episode 148. I just did that one on Saturday, so you can go episode 148 and you can get the details on how to get the free promotion and how to enter the Chew on This contest. All right, and so after that, I go into the section, my highlight section. And in this section, what I'm doing is actually highlighting businesses owned and operated by original people. And the reason why I'm highlighting the businesses is to, give you the opportunity to patronize, businesses that are, pouring into the community. These businesses that I highlight, they either, have their own nonprofit organization or pay into one. They definitely all take care of their community, or if they're not currently, it's their goal to, get big enough to take care of the community, to, help start generational wealth, teach some type of vocational skill, employ their own. Most of them is family owned and operated. And then another reason why I do the highlight section is to put out that positive frame of reference about entrepreneurialism, because the types of businesses that I highlight, the people that own and operate them, they had either little to no education, they had little to no finances, they had little to no experience in whatever, businesses that they're currently, running. If they did have an extensive college or vocational skills background. It didn't necessarily line up with the business that they're currently running. Basically, it's like a passion project. They stepped out on faith. They put their vision and their dream first and just figured everything else out along the way. So, and the reason why I'm doing the highlight section is because, again, the media just have you feeling like you can't ever get off that treadmill. Like, you have to settle on a 9 to 5 or, it's just hopeless for us. So I'm putting out the positive frames of reference about people that got sick of being sick and tired and just started to, decided to do for self and believe in their dream and to believe in their self and start their own business. Now, after the highlight section, I go on to the section I call the spotlight section. In the spotlight section, what I'm doing is giving a public figure or somebody in the eye of the public in the entertainment industry, their roses while they're here. So it's just basically spotlighting a prominent figure in our community in the entertainment industry. So like an actor, an actress, an athlete, a recording artist, comedian, philanthropist, public figure, writer, producer, just basically anybody in the eye of the public using their platform to speak on our condition, speak on our plight unapologetically at that, and also doing some type of philanthropy, helping people, whether it's like donating to charity or donating their time by, speaking to our youth or, in the community, giving the community things they need, like, doing drives for school, like donating computers to schools, feeding the homeless, doing, just some type of humanitarian work, some type of philanthropy, just being a good example of being a good brother or being a good sister and, basically having us look, good in the eye of the public. And to my own credit, I say this time and time again, I'm going to keep saying it until you can fact check me if you want to. It's 110% facts. I started the wave for spotlighting. Yup, Halsey Allen did on the Narrative Podcast because before I added the spotlight section to my podcast, nobody on the internet, YouTube, nobody was spotlighting anybody. I did that. And I'm glad I did that. I'm not angry that so many people are doing it now. I'm actually happy because I wanted to start the trend where we're, speaking about each other in a positive manner instead of always dragging each other all up and down social media and trying to make each other look bad and pulling out receipts and clowning each other on the internet, just saying something nice about your brother and something nice about your sister. So I started the way for that, giving people their roses while they're here and, celebrating all their accomplishments. So acknowledging their work and being grateful for their presence. So, I started that and I'm glad I started that. I'm glad, that struck a chord with so many people. And then my next section is my health and wellness section. In my health and wellness section, what I'm doing is basically, giving tips to maintain a healthy, active, fit lifestyle. Promoting a healthy, active, fit lifestyle. I'm giving, health tips about, the health benefits of a certain type of food, veggie, fruits, plant, herb extract. then physical exercises, and then mental exercises as well, like such as like meditation, prayer, metaphysical stuff, just basically just total, full body wellness is what I teach, promote in that section. And the reason I feel I need to promote that is because we are at the target of so many diseases, like they're literally concocting things in laboratories that, mess with our unique genetic makeup, specifically our melanin. They're coming up with things that, are breaking it down, rearranging it, altering it, or just completely eradicating it. And our melanin is the source to our superpowers. We can do some amazing stuff with that. And they know it. So that's all I want to do in that section is, to promote an active, healthy, fit lifestyle. So, we don't get our immune system's compromised. So we out here looking good and feeling good, basically. Because again, the media sit up there and bombard you with all these negative images and all these negative audio clips and just have you just unnecessarily stressing. And when you stress, you weaken your immune system. And when your immune system becomes compromised, then you're, susceptible to all these airborne pathogens and all these little nasty concoctions that they're coming up just for us. Because if you notice, every time something new comes up, we're the number one, it's always us, the number one, in the number one class for all diseases, for heart conditions, for breathing conditions, like for cancer, for, like high blood pressure, for whatever. They always make us the face of it. And they put just an inflated percentage. African Americans are in the 97.6 blah, blah, blah percent most likely to contract this virus, that virus, to be, heart palpitations, high cholesterol, whatever. So that's all I'm promoting in that section is just to maintain your, health and wellness, increase it, maintain it. And I'm not like a herbalist or a guru. I'm just like sharing things that has worked for me. I wouldn't share like stuff that I'm not incorporating into my own life. I wouldn't sit up there and tell you to eat something that I've never eaten before. I wouldn't tell you to do an exercise that I've never done before. But, if you get something out of it, cool. If you don't, well, then it ain't for you. So, it is what it is. All right, so after the health and wellness section, I go on to my current events section. In the current events section, I'm sorry, I'm starting to kind of lag, so this is a live broadcast, but I might have to break it up in two parts in a second. But anyway, yeah. Just a heads up. I don't know why I'm just lagging like that. But it'll come probably when I share it back. It'd be part 1 and part 2, but it's just really just one episode. But anyway, so my next section is my current my speaking point of the day, and it's basically just my commentary section. Whatever is going on in the world, or specifically in our community, I'll weigh in on it and discuss it from our perspective. And the reason why I'm doing that is to basically, control the narrative because the media always tries to, spin and weave a false narrative of our people and our culture. So, in my speaking point of the day, I'm controlling the narrative. I'm just breaking it down from our perspective, whatever the topic is. Sometimes I have a topic, sometimes I don't. On the days I don't, it's usually just the observation I made about us. And when I say us, it's myself included in that, discovery as well. All right, and then after the speaking point is my final thought of the day, and it's usually a gem, a pearl of wisdom, something to inspire critical thinking, or just something to leave you with like, interesting. I never thought of it that way. And then I close out. And I probably promote any project before I close out. Probably promote any projects that I got going on. And, bam, that's the full, my full format for a full episode of the Narrative Podcast. And I hope you join me this weekend to listen to it. All right, so what's going on today? Commentary. I'm going to say, I know it's kind of old now, but I didn't get my chance to put my 2 cents in on it. Brother Kyrie Irving. Again, this league who no original person can say. Like, you can't even say the J word anymore if you're an original person. So the first time they came after Kyrie, he was talking about, the jab. He didn't want to get the jab. Now they come after him because he posted, something online that they didn't like, a movie about, who the original person was, the relationship to our people, and they called that anti-Semitic. They said it had anti-Semitic tokes in it, tokes, whatever that word means, tokes. They basically said it was anti-Semitic because he posted it. He posted it actually without a caption, so it could have been really open-ended. They don't know what he could have meant, but for some odd reason, they said it was anti-Semitic. So here we are again with this anti-Semitic stuff. First of all, Semitic is really actually a made-up word because Judaism actually stems from true Judaism stems from Shem. And they are Shemitic people. So Semitic is something that they actually kind of made up. I can go super deep with it, but like I said, for time reasons, I'm not trying to teach a class, but where I'm going with my commentary, I've already gone like in the past about this double standard, about the freedom of speech and when it comes to us. But I know some stuff. I'm not no theologian, but I can break down some, theology and divine, concepts and precepts, of religion. But for the purpose of my podcast, I'm just really pointing out, the double-edged standard when it comes to us, and especially our claims to being the original, Jew that upsets this league so bad. They never spring into action, actually, until that claim is popped up. Then it's all of a sudden it's anti-Semitic. You can't call history anti-Semitic. You can't call scholarship anti-Semitic. If it's proven fact, you can't say that's anti-Semitic. You can't get in your feelings and just say we're being anti-Semitic. And then more to my point, if you don't like what somebody says, don't listen to it. Social media is full of, devices and instruments to block out something you don't want to see or don't want to listen to. But what you should not have a right is the right to censor people and tell them what they can and cannot say. Because this is supposed to be America. We're all supposed to have the freedom of speech. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but you definitely don't have the right to tell me I can't say it or I better not say it. Now, if we're in the streets, that's kind of a different thing. But if I'm on my social media platform and something I say on my social media platform offends you, you got options. You can mute me, you can block me, you can there's a button you can hit up if you're on Instagram, Twitter. I don't want to see posts from this person. But you don't sit up there and try to make them apologize and then find them a bunch of money because they said something you don't like. And then going back to, the word defamation. Now, the legal term for defamation is when somebody says something so slanderous and untrue about you, it causes you financial harm. So how is somebody saying something with scholarship about who the original Jew is? How's that making you lose money? How's that making you lose money? So when it's actually the other way around, because they're always coming after original man or original woman and finding them money for, offending them. And I'm doing air quotes when I'm saying offended.